Hello, I'm your host, Charmaine, and welcome to Beautiful Gems. Good morning. May not be morning for you right now, but it's morning for me. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm sitting here and I am doing the very thing that I've asked my fellow miners to do, which is to sit and pray, to be still, to meditate. You know, I was thinking about this next episode and how to bring together what my two guests have, graciously come on the show and shared. And you know something? I'm not going to bring it all together right now. And I actually recorded another episode last night, and I'm gonna put it out as a bonus episode. But I wanted to just, number one, thank my guests, Teresa, my other guest, MarQuis, again, for coming on the show. And just in case you were wondering who that little guy was who kept coming in on the conversation, our fellow miner, well, that was you. That was me trying to give you a voice, to make you a part of the conversation. Because you are a part of the conversation. It is about you. That's why I'm doing this podcast. And so, like I've said many times, this podcast is for the Black community and anybody that wants to understand, I feel like, some of the inner workings of being Black. I haven't yet addressed those issues, but don't worry, when we get to the refinement process, right? Because it's mind, refine, and shine. When we get to the refinement process, I'm going to be talking about a lot of those issues. Up until this point, what I've been doing is prepping you, preparing you, giving you the tools you need to go in to mine those gems. It's necessary. And it's so interesting because for me, it's been almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy, even the first season through now. I have dealt with allies, enemies, frenemies, and the unbothered outside of myself and inside with myself. And it's been spiritual warfare. That's facts. And I know I'm not the only one out there that's going through that. It's been real. Yes, life has been challenging. Life has also been sweet. But that spiritual warfare, we're in a war right now. And Black folks, you are in the middle of it. Whether you realize it or not, whether you want to acknowledge it or not, you are a very pivotal part of this spiritual warfare, this spiritual war, right? And I'm going to tell you something. It's so crazy. And I might post this on my TikTok because you see, in the mornings, I typically sit with God and I feel like I receive messages. And one message I received recently was, my people just don't know how truly blessed they are. They don't understand that wherever they go is a blessing. They don't understand that the enemy has come to confuse them about themselves and about their gifts. Because when they are confused, their gifts can be stolen. Mm-hmm. And it's time now for us to acknowledge our gifts and take those things back. Because they were never truly, I think I had said in another podcast, they're never truly gone, right? You are the gift. It's only when you don't know that you're the gift, that you don't know that you're the gem. When you don't know how to wield that gift, when you don't know how to wield those gems, that it can be, quote unquote, taken away from you. And the message I got is my people don't even know that wherever they literally are is a blessing. Gentrification was brought to my mind. You see how the enemy will flip things for you, to you, okay? Why is it that in some of the worst neighborhoods out there, people want to move in? The colonizer wants to move in where you are. This has been repeated throughout history. Why is that? I'm going to tell you why. The message I got is because you've already blessed the area that you've lived in. So now they move you out and take your blessings literally, figuratively, and spiritually. More importantly, your presence is a grace. Understand that. And I need you to really sit with that, because these are the mind games that have been played for centuries with you. This is very serious. It's so serious that they have trained others within our community to come against us. It's so serious that they have trained you to come against yourself. So it's time to open your eyes. We say we're awake. Are you truly awake? Are you talking to God? Are you listening to God, to what he has to say to you, whatever it is you believe? Are you listening, not just speaking? Are you going to church and leaving? Or are you picking up your Bible and leaving it? Picking up whatever spiritual text you have and leaving it? No, you have to live it and understand that you are the living word. And I'm not just talking about the Bible. I'm saying your spirituality. Religion is a mode to get to God. Do you own your spirituality? Or do you leave it by the wayside? You are a spiritual being. You walk in spirit every day. How can you not? Because you're alive. And in being alive, you are connected to God. You are connected to Source. You are connected to the greatest life force. And God has blessed you tremendously with these gems. What are you doing with them? You might hear all manner of noise right now, but I say the message is always more important, so please ignore it. That's my dog. You're going to hear him sometimes. He just jumped because I have my back door open here. He just jumped down. Maybe he saw a bird or saw a squirrel or something, a rabbit. I don't know. I have wildlife in my backyard, but I enjoy that because that's another way for me to connect to God. Listening to the birds in the background is another way for me to connect with God. Where is your connection? How do you tune in? Tune in all the time, all the time, all the time. Because if you're not tuned in, someone else is tuned into your spiritual frequency. Okay? So this whole thing with mining your gems is it's serious. It's serious. And, I'm going to take some time for myself because I've just been through some spiritual warfare. I'm currently, I feel like, going through some spiritual warfare. Like I said, externally and internally. And I'm sharing this with you to show you that as someone that is coming to support the healing of the Black community, to support you in the education of self-healing, support you in the education of introspection, support you in the education of your spirituality and practical things that you can do. I go through it too. Anybody that comes to you and acts like they always have it together, be weary of them. Okay? Be weary. There's nobody that has everything all together all the time. We're looking for answers, looking for pictures of perfection out there. The truth is, if you put a microscope to most people's lives, I want to say all people's lives, you're going to find things that's really jacked up. And that's just the truth. I was just thinking here about David Goggins. David Goggins says something else, but I ain't going there. But he's about right. When you look at people, everybody's messed up. Everybody is in some way, shape, or form. And what I mean is that we all have our stuff. We all have our things. But the worst thing that you can do is not acknowledge those things. That's why we're talking about the allies, enemies, frenemies, and the unbothered. Before you go in to mine those gems, you need to understand how you can come against yourself in the process. You need to understand how the outside world will come against you in your process, especially because you're Black. Well, see, when you go out there armed with that knowledge and you have the tools that you need in connection with the Most High God, you cannot be defeated. I'm very clear. I cannot be defeated. I don't care what stuff I have. I don't care what comes against me. As long as I have my connection to the Most High God, I'm good. And I don't say that with any kind of arrogance. I say that with humility. Because I know that I can't do that by myself. And that's why my constant message, if there's only one message that you take from this podcast, build your relationship with God, because you can never go wrong there. You can never go wrong by walking in tandem with Spirit, by walking in tandem with God. There is something that you are specifically here for. God is a God of purpose. What is your purpose? Whatever your purpose is, we need you, the Black community, collectively to stand in your purpose. The world is going to come against you so that you do not stand in your purpose. We could sit here and paint fluffy bunnies, but you know the real deal about this world, and so do I. So I'm going to, I think, stop here. I'm also going to put out a bonus episode, the one that I recorded last night. And I just pray that over the summertime, you know, as I renew and I rejuvenate myself, I pray that you do the same. Wherever it is you are in your process, you know, I pray that you do what you need to do. We may all be at different places and spaces. But as long as you are connected to God, and you're asking for His direction in your healing process, you're good wherever you're at. Meet God wherever you're at. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I pray that you build your relationship with God, love yourself unconditionally, and put in the work to mine, refine, and shine those gems.